Yeah, and if you guys are just joining us, this is, like she said, the first game, Riot vs. Community. We're going to pit them head-to-head. Very excited to come back and see some real action. I actually, the first game last week, I did catch some of it, and it was pretty intense. There was a Fed Draven. There was a lot of tower diving. He went in and got a quadra kill at one point, tower diving, and it wasn't exactly worth it, but it was awesome to watch. And so hopefully we can bring you all that. We can bring you all that action today, and it should be very exciting. For the skins,
so manly.
I like the headless Hecarim, awesome. Huntress Sivir, I don't think I've seen it. Gee, I don't even know if I've ever seen it. I always see the Pack Sivir.
Really?
Or what's the other Sivir skin that I see all the time? But we do have Purple Taric. I don't think I've seen that Kog'Maw skin either.
Purple.
So
Don't they call it Pink Taric?
Pink
I don't
Taric,
know. It's
purple pink.
It is Lady Taric.
No.
Lady Pastel Shades Taric.
No. Just because your
no,
belt is
I like
pink
Bloodstone Taric.
and
Hey,
diamond-studded.
Manly Taric is where it is at. But yeah, Leopard Nidalee coming out from Squad 5. Aetherwing Kill, of course, the obvious choice for Ryrogen. It is such a gorgeous skin. I really enjoy the effects that they have on it in-game. Like, she looks really small, but, like, her wings are amazing. Someone brought up to me that her actual model is, like, tiny. And I never realized it until she was standing next to Zed, and she does look really small. So, I don't know if that's on purpose, if, like, being a mecha angel makes you shrink a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it's because of all the metal that she's just, like, packed in. It's gravity. That's how we're going with that.
Gravity. Just pulling her in.
Sonoran Kog'Maw, pretty much orange-flavored Kog'Maw, super duper cute, and of course, the metal Cho'Gath, which is awesome too. So we are loaded in, guys. Sorry, metal. What? Full metal? No. What's the name of that Cho'Gath skin? I just saw it.
Battlecast.
Battlecast.
Yes.
Battlecast Cho'Gath.
He's got
that's
speakers,
right, yeah.
actually. So I don't know.
He does. His silence is hilarious and awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, the Gentleman Cho'Gath and the Battlecast Cho'Gath are both awesome. His sayings are probably the most fun from the Gentleman Cho'Gath, but this one is definitely the visual effect Cho'Gath. The other one, he's dressed very, very dapper, but he's always like, up you go, and it's a lot of fun if you actually land that.
Quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you land those abilities, it's a lot of fun. Let me see if I can get the layout right here. I'll use directed camera. Remember that I can switch all these around.
But yeah, I'm trying to think if there is a level 1 engagement, who would come out on top, but I'm going to have to give it to Riot because, as we mentioned, that hard CC is in their favor. If Taric takes Dazzle first, which I'm looking, yeah, he definitely took that first, just in case they were going to be aggressive or they were going to be aggressed upon. He wanted to have that hard CC to be able to turn things around. It doesn't look like either team is looking to really invade right now. They're actually poised pretty defensively, making sure that neither team is going to try and sneak one of those buffs. Looks like, yeah, Jungle Cho'Gath usually starts at blue, so it looks like that's where he's going to go. Pretty mana-intense jungler, and then Hecarim can go red first, but he's going to go Wolves blue as well. So kind of a passive start to the game, nobody getting too excited, no counter-jungling, which is uncommon. Like, counter-jungling is the thing now. Like, if you know the enemy jungler is going to start blue, you grab their red, easy peasy, and then come home. And usually it's, like, free. Nobody defends their red really well, so.
Yeah, it's surprising to see. I would have expected, it would have been possible for the community team to have Hecarim start red and have their Nunu actually start with a blue buff. Now, it does slow Hecarim's jungle down, but he can go right bottom for a quick gank, and Nunu can dominate top. The cooldown reduction and unlimited mana from his own clairvoyance and the blue buff makes him just unstoppable bully. And he is going to be Nunu in the top lane versus the Kayle. Kayle rocking a lot of ability power, so we will see how that plays out. And I'm a little worried for the Nidalee middle. We'll see. It's not the best matchup for her. It'll be hard for her to farm if it is pushed to her tower until she gets level 6 and can actually do a little bit to clear those waves. You can see now she's just kind of auto-attacking them down because she really doesn't want them to get to her turret because she's worried about that exact thing, the moored push.
Well, I think she does have her range if she is going to go AP Nidalee, which I'm assuming she is. But, let's look at her runes really quick. No, she only has 8 ability power, so maybe. But she's gonna have the range on Mordekaiser. If Mordekaiser wants to do anything to you, he's got a super, super short range on his Mace of Spades. So he's got to get on top of you to do the damage that you want to do, and he doesn't really have a gap closer. So if Nidalee really uses and abuses the glorious range on her Q, she could be pretty safe. Plus, it's Squad 5. He's a fairly talented League player, and I'm excited to see how mid goes down.
But look at Mordekaiser's starting items. 9 pots, 2 wards. He is Pharmakaiser. He's not going to worry about any type of harass. He's going to spam his abilities all day long.
Top lane.
Top lane, actually. They're coming up for a gank. Morello's bot's going to be the first one to die. I missed part of that. Did see the first blood, though. And it looks like the slow from Kayle plus a rupture is all you need to close that gap and get the Nunu. He also flashed on top of that. So a wasted summoner. It still got the first blood. And that, of course,
I don't know how I feel about Nunu top lane. Like, I know that if he's played confidently and he gets some crazy empires off on the bush, all that good stuff, he works with his jungler to secure those ganks with his snowball that's actually called Ice Blast, and I knew that. It's a good AP burst. It's going to be a good slow, so I think it'll be okay, but Kayle, again, she can just kite you all day. So it looks like a gank in mid lane right now. Blitzkrieg getting caught out as he goes in to gank. He is ignited, taking a lot of damage from both of them right now, and will go down to Mordekaiser. They're turning on to Squad 5. Squad 5 forced to flash behind the turret, throw in a cheeky little spear there, but 1 kill down for the community team, going to Mordekaiser and giving him red buff, Terror.
Yeah, red buff is definitely scary on Mordekaiser when you are in Italy that wants to be able to get away from him as fast as possible. She's almost level 6, so she's not going to have too much an issue after this. I think a wave and a half she's probably got to level 6, and then she'll be able to leap away. But the thing about Nidalee in mid is that there aren't any bushes to use. It's not like top lane or like a bottom lane Nidalee support. Little action going down bottom. Black Epiphany taking some damage. Riot Virtue now. They're actually re-engaging. A missed boomerang though, and they're going to disengage now that Gibbs is out of mana. And shocking to see.
That is a problem.
Biggleby up top, even though he has red buff, waiting in that bush with very little health right now.
That's true. And at least Sivir does have the spell shield for the mana issues. She's going to be doing a lot more damage once she can start getting those Eye of the Storm shields from Janna on her. But it looks like Riot is pushing bottom fairly well. Looking at the farm, 32 for Kog'Maw and only 16 for Sivir. So they're doing a good job of zoning. There goes the Dazzle onto Janna. But Kog'Maw a little low. Doesn't want to go in quite yet, but they're definitely, Riot is turning bottom to their advantage as we speak.
Yeah, I don't think they're wasting too many dazzles on the Sivir just because of the fact they don't want to give her that free mana. And without mana, she's very mana intensive. If you're missing your boomerangs, you're going to go and you're not going to be able to push your laning opponent out of lane. You're going to be kind of stuck where she is now, where relying on Janna to pop those shields and give her a little bit more effective HP so that she can trade.
That's true. A little bit of trading going on in mid lane. Nidalee trying to land those spears onto Mordekaiser, but Mordekaiser also has his shield, so it's kind of an even matchup right now. They're going to really rely on their junglers to have some solid presence in mid lane. Same with top lane as well. Kayle is pushing pretty effectively. Got 23 farm, but Nunu is out farming even with a death at 32. That consume is OP for farming and sustain as well.
Yeah, Kayle tried to push up the minions, but Nunu decided to tank them all. He's getting fairly low, rolling a health pot, but he's also auto-attacking them, so he's going to have plenty of mana to start consuming them with the free attacks. And now a gank coming down bottom. Mecha Zero might be in a little bit of trouble here. A good flash coming out from Taric, and I think they'll be able to disengage from this one, but it would have been a lot of trouble if Hecarim had turned around and used his charge to knock Taric back into the fight. But both people were kind of low mana down bottom. There really wasn't much that they could do to lay the damage down when Sivir doesn't have any boomerangs to throw.
That's true. And when you pick a Kog'Maw bottom lane, you have to keep in mind that you have to protect him. Kog'Maw doesn't necessarily have any solid escape mechanisms. He does have Void Ooze, and if he lands it is a decent slow. However, 20% slow, and then what are you going to do? So Taric was a good choice down at bottom lane with that, directed stun. He can click it on anybody he needs to and escape those ganks, but it was a close thing, forcing a flash out of Tark as well, just to keep himself safe.
Yeah, and Kog'Maw not running cleanse, it's usually one of those summoners that you see Kog'Maw run a flash cleanse almost 100% of the time, and that's simply because even if they don't have hard CC, an exhaust and a snowball, they're going to be able to hurt you even after you flash. If they really want to hard engage, which this team has the potential for, they're going to be able to do that if you can't cleanse the massive slows that they have here. Biggleby going up top, seen by a ward here. He's just going to ward himself, and it looks like he's going to fall back a little bit. Ooh, eating a big spear, chunking his life down. I'm not sure how much that spear hit for, but it looks like it's creeping up in the 400 damage range.
Now we definitely know that Nidalee's going AP. She went ahead and bought that Kage's Lucky Pick, giving her the extra gold, the extra ability power, and the extra oomph in those spheres, as we just saw. But Mordekaiser chunking her a little bit in mid lane as well, forcing her to pop those potions to stay alive here. But the thing about mid Nidalee, I mean, come on, Primal Surge, she can heal herself as well. So both of the champions in mid lane are pretty decent at keeping themselves healed up and alive. It looks like Cho'Gath, Riot Blitzkrieg, might be going in for a gank here, but the lane is fairly pushed, and Mordekaiser has a ward in that bush, so he knows he's coming. Double buff Cho'Gath, scary. I don't want to deal with it either.
Yeah, he is level 6, so he does have that very large burst from his feast. It's not quite up yet. It's only got about 7 seconds. He is seen by a ward here. See if Nunu can get out of it. He does flash a Rupture. He's going to be able to get out very easily, but it is a used summoner right there, so he needs to be careful of that ward. He needs to be careful pushing forward. I think Blitzkrieg thinks it's not warded because of the fact that Kayle gave away the position, maybe getting a little too aggressive. But it was actually the ward that caused Nunu to retreat there.
That's true, and Community is being fairly careful with their wards. As you can see, they have one in top lane, they have one in mid lane, they have one in bottom lane, they even have a pink in bottom lane, just to make sure they have the vision there, because they know that Cho'Gath is wanting to get those ganks on, and is attempting to do so. Looking at bottom lane, actually, now it looks like Community is pushing up the Reds. The farm is still in Kog'Maw's favor, 58 to 42, which is still a pretty drastic difference. Sivir's got to catch up there.
Yeah, they're doing a good job trading. The Janna and the Sivir know exactly how to trade with them to not get baited with the spell shield on that Void Ooze or use it on the ultimates, saving it for the stun, doing a good job there. The shields coming out from Janna are very good. She is counter slowing, but taking a lot of auto attacks from Kog there, getting a little bit too close when she tries to drop her Zephyr on there, and she might just want to hang back. A fight coming out mid here. Biggleby getting caught a little bit in the bush there as the Cho'Gath was ready to gank, but they're both going to retreat at about half health. Mordekaiser and Hecarim getting out of there pretty much unscathed, and Hecarim's going to return to the jungle.
It's like both junglers are like, mid lane, that's where the party's going to be. We've seen a couple of ganks mid lane so far, and some successful as well. But it's a really low kill game. We're at 11 minutes, 1 kill on each side. Gold is dead even. Nobody has any towers. It's a pretty passive game. I think Community is wanting to go for late game, but I know Riot's really wanting to go for late game as well. So we'll have some pretty epic team fights as we go on. When the dragon attempt comes, we'll also have some good engagements as well. Cho'Gath going mid lane, landing the Rupture onto Mordekaiser, but not enough to really get in there and get some damage down. Just letting him know that there's some lane presence coming out from the jungler on the right side.
Yeah, with only 7 AP, you really don't have to worry about the damage coming out from the Rupture and the silence of Cho'Gath. They're more the utility. It's the knock-up, the ensuing slow, and the silence. You know, the damage isn't going to really come out from him unless he goes with a Rod of Ages build or something like that, where he does have some AP in there and is also tanky. Black Epiphany getting stunned out bottom in a lot of trouble. Does ult, but dies first to Riot Virtue, flashing and igniting Sivir. Sivir trying to retreat back to the tower here. Does not have enough for a spell shield. I don't think they're going to engage any further on this. They do still have vision, so she needs to be careful not to get hit with any more living artilleries. I don't know if Miss Mecha Zero has flash up, but she does have one more spell shield left, and she just stood there to take another one. And I'm surprised that they didn't go in for a gank there. I mean, for a tower dive. I think if they push up this lane, she's going to be in a lot of trouble. She really needs to get back because 2 living artillery, and she is done.
I think they're being pretty safe. They could have gone in there. Also, earlier, that flash ignite from Kog'Maw, I wonder if there's a little miscommunication, like thinking that Tark was going to stun her and then it was going to be a done deal, but That was 2 summer spells for nothing wasted by Riot Virtue, but they did get the kill in the end on the Janna. So nice job. It looks like Sparkle Pony lurking there in the tri-bush, gonna get caught out by Squad 5, or is it the opposite Squad 5 saying, I don't really know about this. I'm just gonna go ahead and back off. Looks like Mordekaiser might be trying to meet him in the river. Gonna pursue a little bit, drop a ward, just trying to get some vision. Nidalee gonna say, no, thank you, I'm out of here.
Yeah, they don't have any vision on Cho'Gath, so they do have to be careful. I'm pretty sure they didn't see him go back. But PLDL actually doing a very good amount of damage right now. He has the Hextech Revolver and the Haunting Guys on that Mordekaiser, so his farming plan working very well. Still ahead by 13 CS. Does have 1 kill on Nidalee. And top lane also creeping even further ahead in CS. 88 to 54 now. And the only lane really losing in the CS is the bottom lane. And that's probably the lane you don't want that Cog to farm. If Cog gets a safe farming lane, he is going to be a beast, maybe even earlier than late game. Creeping into the mid game, if he finishes an IE, he will be very devastating.
That's true. He is definitely a hyper carry with that awesome steroid, that's the word I was looking for, on his Bioarcane Barrage. So definitely going to be scary to deal with. I definitely need to stop saying definitely tonight, because it's definitely something I'm doing. Looks like we're having a gank in mid lane. Mordekaiser being set upon by that kill. We do have the Rupture coming in from Riot. Blitzkrieg, there is the silence going down. The Spirit just barely missing. He is also ignited. Gonna make it out with his life. Was not able to quite compound that kill because Sparkle Pony was there to scare him off. Are they going to continue on and do some damage to this mid tower? It looks like they're going to do so. If they give Nidalee Wandering Power after taking this mid tower, it's going to get pretty scary for the rest of the community's lanes.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be the first tower in the game right here. Going to the Riot side. After they had 3 people there, they decided to just push it. Kale's going to TP back top, have plenty of time to defend, and get some of that much-needed farm. You don't want to fall behind too much in farm. It's not worth it. Exchange going down bottom. Exhaust coming out on Sivir, flashing away. She did pop the on the hunt. I almost said the hunt was on, but and use the movement speed. Wanted to trade some, but the Taric. The best part about Taric with the Kog'Maw is the additional armor. If she's not using the Shatter, then she does have the additional armor to trade with the Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw, ooh, missing Living Artillery. She did have the shield up, but now she doesn't have shield. It's a very long cooldown, 18 seconds when it's not ranked up. So she needs to be very careful right now because a good flash and stun would end her life.
And also during that engagement, Janna did a pretty good job. She did get caught out. She was stunned immediately. Eye of the Stormed herself and flashed to safety, so didn't quite get eaten up. But it was kind of bizarre because then Sivir did pop the ulti, but they could not trade at all in that engagement. So Taric OP, Shatter is OP, the passive on Shatter, of course, all that armor, and we're not really seeing too much happening in top lane. I mean, Nuno's doing a great job of farming, as you mentioned. He's got 101 farm. Kale sitting at 73, which is just not a good place to be right now. You can even see it from her items. All she's completed is the Bilgewater Cutlass, which is interesting. You think she's going to go into Gunblade?
It's very possible. The Cutlass does also build into the new item, the Blade of the Ruined King, which has that. It has the active that that actually life steals your enemy. You basically chunk their health a little bit. It's a very short range though. It's like a melee range type of thing. And they're gonna 2-man Baron. I don't think they understand how strong Baron is right now. I don't believe this is possible. But we will see. Kale actually coming down might see them. Nope, he's going to ward and go back up top. And this is very, very interesting. I do not think that they could do this right now, but it might be possible. Hecarim, though, does not have a Wriggles. I mean, if he had a Wriggles, I would see that Hecarim could pull this off right now, and they'd have the damage. It is down to half. Morelos Northbat is backing off a little bit, letting Biggleby tank some of it. In mid lane, meanwhile,
we're so
Mordekaiser... Oh, goodness. The Mordekaiser going down. Squad 5 almost also dying. And there's the first execute. Baron's going to take 2 lives here if they're not careful. No, Morella's going to back off. And one thing that you do have to know about Baron is he does more damage as he's lower health. So it only gets harder as you start attacking him. I think it might have actually been possible. If he had have had like a Wriggles on Hecarim, or at least the Claw with the extra attack speed from Nunu, they would have had the damage. Ooh, good Rupture down bottom on Sivir.
Gank.
Looks like they're going in for a tower dive here. Miss Mecha just running up, not bothering the stun. There's the Ignite, picking up, not going to pick up the kill. Miss Mecha actually going to get it. And Janet is going to disengage. A big spear coming down. Ooh, a good juke by Black Epiphany. He's still coming in hard for this Viscrid. Going to get the silence off. Hecarim going to come. Oh, cannot save the day. The spear picking up the kill. The exhaust on Blitzkrieg, not enough. Might need to have come out sooner or try to dodge the Rupture as well. A very good attempt by Jana, but she still goes down to the tower.
They are still staying after that crazy tower dive. Oh my gosh, Tarek fail flashing into Golems, not able to get away. They are sticking around in this engagement. I don't highly recommend it, but we do see Kog'Maw picking up the kill onto Hecarim here. And oh my gosh, that spear almost landing on Mordekaiser there. He's just defending his turret. So 2-6, like Riot actually came out way ahead there. I'm pretty sure that other kill, I mean, one of the kills is a suicide for the Baron there. But yeah, Riot's going to go ahead and take an uncontested dragon after those shenanigans. And if you're going to tower dive, Cho'Gath is definitely the one to do it. He's tanky, like he's got a couple stacks, everything is good. Actually, he's got 6 stacks, not a couple, so his feast is all stacked up. His model is smaller than normal Cho'Gath, so I always get a little thrown off, but he does have 6 stacks, is a tanky beast, and was able to push past 2 towers to secure those kills. Great job from Riot.
I thought they adjusted the size of his model because before, if he got something else that increased his size... Oh, a kill coming out here from Mordekaiser. Definitely going to be enough. Cho'Gath getting a little too close. Maybe think he's going to get some health back from those minions. Dropped a Rupture, but Mord just ulted him. Got himself a free Cho'Gath pet, which he's bringing out of tower range to help him bring down that mid tower. Nidalee not going to be able to do much about it except for take out the Cho'Gath and watch it die in sparks there. But a very close kill on that tower. I think another wave or two to push, and he should be okay to take it down.
That's true. The gold difference for Riot right now is pretty intense. 22k to 27k in their favor. They have 2 towers right now coming up on the 20-minute mark. 2 communities 0 and double the kills. So communities really got to pull it together and control these map objectives. Riot just walked over and got Dragon. And they pushed down mid really early, which again allows Nidalee to wander into other lanes and do what she does best, which is stalk around in the jungle and then gank people. And yeah, it's definitely working out for them. They're going to go ahead and give Nidalee blue right now, which is even scarier. More cooldown, all the mana she could want, and all the killing power she can get. So,
yeah,
looking at the bottom lane, Kog'Maw... Oh, sorry, go for it.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, you noticed that the Nidalee actually caught up a lot in farm after she was able to get free and start farming jungle and move to other lanes. She actually moved right up onto the Mordekaiser's farms, now only behind by 7. She doesn't have quite the kills that he does, but she has plenty of AP to spar with him. It looks like we're going to set up for a gank mid lane here. Hecarim's going to come down, a missed Rupture. PLDL getting chased down by Squad 5 and Cho'Gath on that trap. He decides to turn on them because Hecarim's coming in. A great ultimate, fearing that Nidalee going to get away here, but the Rupture actually saving her life as well because they weren't able to chase down with that red buff. But they're going to take the tower down.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, 1 hit is all it takes to get this mid-tower. Mordekaiser, no fear, catching a spear in his teeth, doesn't even care. Gonna get the tower, gonna get the money for the team, so that helps close the gap in the money difference a little bit. Nidalee's still pursuing, almost landing a nice spear onto that double buff Hecarim. Sparkle Pony saying, wait, I can juke these all day long. Nidalee getting a little, oh my gosh, almost landing 2 of those. She wants this pony, she wants to kill him, but I don't know if she's far enough ahead. There she goes. She jumps on him. There's the ignite. He's trying to run away. There's the shield from Mordekaiser. Not enough. Can she get 2? Will she jump onto Mordekaiser, forcing the flash off? He is safe, but those spears can go behind turrets, so he's going to go back and retreat into his jungle. Kill coming down to help as well right now, and it looks like they're just going to shove down this bottom tower and be done with it.
Down bottom, Janet forced to use the Monsoon, and now it's going to be a 4v3 down on this bottom turret. Nunu is there to help, trying to zone back the Nidalee, but taking a lot of damage from the Kog'Maw. And without that Janet ult, they don't have the disengage. Nunu down to half already. Riot Rojan coming in. He already popped the ultimate when he was exhausted. They're trying to collapse on Sivir here, and they're kind of splitting between Sivir and Janna. They don't know who they want to go for. Mordekaiser's back up. Janna is stuck out in their brush. She's recalling right now, and she might get out before they even get back there. They miss out on a kill because they wanted the AD carry so badly, but they will pick up this turret, so their efforts are not in vain.
There was a little indecision there. They were like, they're both squishy. Like, who do we go for? Who would be the more valuable kill? Which, of course, in my personal opinion, would be Sivir Biggleby getting caught out here a little bit as, Riot's helping himself to the community jungle and all of its spoils. Kog'Maw doing really well. I mean, 2-0-2 Infinity Edge is completed. He does have those Dorn Blades to give him a little bit of lifesteal. He is sitting pretty at 173 farm, the most on his team. And I'm sorry, but if Kog'Maw is already doing that well, it's going to be super scary the later you go into the game, especially if you have a team ready to defend
Squad
him.
5 a little bit out of position here, trying to chase down the Hecarim, taking some decent damage from Nunu, but Mordekaiser did not try to chase, instead was trying to defend the tower unsuccessfully. So they let the Nidalee get away, and they let the tower die. Now, Riot's really going to start pulling ahead here. They're up by 9,000 gold. They have 5 men pushing top, and they're just going for objectives. Objective after objective. They're swinging to each turret, and they're taking them down with ease.
That's what you see in the pro play, of course, is that after laning phase is over, everyone sticks together. That way there's no risk of anyone getting caught out, picked off, feeding the enemy team kills, all that good stuff. That way they are stronger as a unit, and they are just, going door to door, killing towers, taking money, all that good stuff. But Mordekaiser's doing a pretty darn good amount of damage here with that Mace of Spades, forcing them back off of the turret. The rest of the community is here to fight them off, and it is pretty much just a siege at the moment. Those spears, though, doing a lot of damage. Biggleby catching a couple, and we do see the first kill in the engagement. Sivir was caught out there by that Kayle and taken down pretty easily, and Riot is not backing down. They want this tower, and now they do have the 5v4 advantage, and they are pushing it. Looks like Nunu is trying to get in there, throwing all the snowballs he can. There is a rupture landed on him. Looks like Blitzkrieg is going to go ahead and engage another teamfight after they take the tower. And they're just going to keep pushing up until community can do something.
Yeah, Sivir way out of position there. I think she might have thought that they were going to go for an engage, but they didn't. Hecarim still had the ult up, but did not go in on it. And now Cho'Gath going forward. The tower is down. An engagement coming out. Black Epiphany actually stunning the support there. Hecarim ult coming down. And Vulnerable going down onto the Kog'Maw, keeping him alive just long enough. He will finally go down to the Mordekaiser ultimate, but I do not think they're going to be able to win this. Mordekaiser with a double kill, a triple kill coming out from Mordekaiser as he tries to chase them down with his Kog'Maw pet. It looks like he's so strong right now, but he's not following in with his team and engaging. It happened down bottom with the I think it was a Nunu that went in for that fight. No, it was Hecarim down bottom that went in for a fight, and Mordekaiser was just ready to disengage and farm some more. He has 175 CS, the second most in the game, just by 4 CS. And he really needs to push the advantage he has with the damage and having now 6 kills. He needs to put these guys on his back, maybe give him the Blood Boil, give him the Janna Shields, and just let him go in there and do what he can do.
Yeah, a lot of people would say they overstayed their welcome, Riot, there, but I mean, they took 2 towers and they almost got... No, they didn't get the inhibitor, but they got 2 towers there and a couple of kills for the bargain, so I think that it was definitely a good push there, got lots of objectives. They are still ahead by about 10k gold, which is really detrimental at 26 minutes. The kill, 6-11. They have 5 more towers than Community does. What does Community have to really do to pull this together? As we saw, once they came together in a team fight and had the proper initiation, they did a lot of damage. Are they going to have to do that again?
They really just need to get on the same page. There have been a few miscommunications. Right now, they are going in on the Taric and Nidalee. Kayle is here. He does have the ultimate up, or she has the ultimate up, not too afraid to engage in a 5v5 here. They just need to make sure their AD carry does not get caught out, that she's receiving that Blood Boil, she's getting the Janna Shields, and she's able to lay down damage in these fights. Kog'Maw's been doing a good job of laying down damage. Even if it cost him his life last time, it did give them a a lot of kills in that fight because he was continually doing damage. When their AD carry was dead, they were in a lot of trouble. And now Tarek and Riot Rowan here are going to go in on the headless Hecarim, who's going to just speed up, get out of there. They really don't want to engage here. They just want to keep it warded and hopefully have Riot start the Baron where they can come in, maybe have a good steal. Hecarim's very, very good at stealing with Onslaught of Shadows and smiting. So we'll see what they do here. Squad 5 is now out of position as well.
That's true, and it looks like they're going to help themselves to the buff. Sivir taking a lot of damage here. Kale is in the middle of the enemy team, does have the ultimate up, able to walk away unscathed, but now Tarek is the brunt of the entire community team. Kog'Maw caught way out of position. That Absolute Zero is going to finish him off easy, and unfortunately they were all caught out, but Nidalee's going to turn around, finish off that Hecarim. Nunu super low right now, blood boiling himself, trying to get out the Rupture landing from that I almost said Kog'Maw. From Cho'Gath, the other Void monster. We do have a shutdown on Kale coming out from Mordekaiser. A nice spell shield from Sivir, who is currently running away from Cho'Gath. And we got a double kill from Mordekaiser as well. So 9-13. Community is trying to close the gap there. And Riot was caught way, way out. We do see the fight continuing in bottom lane, however. Nidalee going to tower dive and finish off that Sivir super easy. And they're going to look to take this tower as well.
Yeah, they're going to take the tower, but they need to make sure they don't overstay their welcome. You see it a lot where they go to push very hard, and the Rez, which is coming up right now, the Janna with Home Guard boots, going to get, just miss the CC onto that Nidalee. But a lot of times you get a good counter push, you pick up a couple kills, you turn it into Baron, and you turn the game around. But luckily they are going to disengage. Nidalee going back now. Cho'Gath not going back quite yet, but I expect him to recall very quickly here. There it is, and they really need to get back and offend the Baron.
That's true, and Cho's looking pretty good. Looks like he's going to want to buy his Frozen Heart. As I say it, totally unlocks that Frozen Heart. With the Frozen Heart and the Wit's End, which I don't really see on Cho'Gath, I mean, it makes sense, but you don't really see it too commonly, at least I don't. And he does have that jungle item, Spirit Stone, going to be built into another jungling item later, so he's pretty tanky. He can afford to just get in the middle of everybody. Plus, Tarek has completed that early Runic Bulwark, which is going to really benefit them with those AoE resistances. Wow, that's really hard to say. Looks like, Riot wants Baron right now. They've got pink wards out. They know that community doesn't have a whole lot of vision in this area, and they're going to try and complete it as quickly as they can. They do have the jungler down there. They do have Feast, and they have Smite, that's what that's called. And yeah, they're going to take it uncontested while community is wandering around in their own jungle.
Yeah, very easy for them. After that ward died, they really needed to swing up and contest that Baron, because now a Baron buff Riot team are going to catch the Mordekaiser out here. They're going to push into an inhibitor, and they might be able to end the game very easily right here. Mordekaiser in a lot of trouble. He's going to put the ult down, but dies almost instantly. Shutdown gold going to Nidalee, who has plenty of it already. I don't know where she carries all that gold on her. She's dressed a little skimpy, but she's definitely spending it as she gets it.
She hides it in the jungle. That's what we're going for. But yeah, there is the inhibitor for the Riot team, pushing their advantage here. Sivir again caught way out of position in her own base. Nidalee is just on a rampage right now. Has Baron buff, catching that nice invulnerability ulti from Kale. There's the Janna Monsoon trying to save Nunu's life. Unfortunately, Kog'Maw, Cho'Gath, you're the same people, apparently, this evening. But yeah, does get picked up the kill there by that Cho'Gath, and yeah, looks like they're just going to go for the win right now. They are tanky enough to tank these turrets. They do have the crazy attack damage coming out of Kog'Maw right now.
Yeah, and he's pretty much unstoppable at the moment. They've been able to kill him 2 fights, but when they do kill him, Squad 5 has just been able to actually jump into Cougar form and do a lot of damage. Her Cougar form scales off AP very well, and it's one of those things where you need to force Nidalee to be at the border of the fight and only casting spears. But she's been able to engage. Hecarim coming in, maybe as a last resort, getting dazzled in the face with Baron buff team there, and they just ended it very quickly. Kale now actually 4-1-5, Nidalee 8-0-6, and this will be the final push as they have super minions coming in from top and middle in these next waves here, and they are in tons of trouble right now.
Yeah, look how big that Cho'Gath is. How could I have thought his model was small? I think I was just crazy, but there we go. We do see poor Janna trying to do Eye of the Storm onto the tower to keep it alive, but Nidalee is picking them off right and left. She is exhausted, so she's going to back away. A nice little cheeky spear into the fountain. Riot is going to try and finish the win right here and, pick up a couple more kills as they go out. Cho'Gath finishing off Sivir right on the lip of the fountain. 9-20, ladies and gentlemen. Riot did not pull any punches. 32-minute game, 2 towers to 11 towers. They had Baron. They never go for Baron unless, they think they really want to hammer it home, and they totally did. What a game.
Yeah, it was a very good game. Awesome to see. The Nidalee did very well mid, but so did the Mordekaiser. But Mordekaiser was the only one really producing the kills on his team. He has 8 out of 9 of their kills, and was just not enough to carry the whole team through that mid game, where bottom lane was doing very well in their farm. Kog'Maw not getting a lot of kills, but he was involved in most of the kills. Taric not dying a lot, Cho'Gath not dying a lot, and the kills being stacked up on Riot Rohan and Squad 5.